The CATIA user interface is a native Windows interface and as such behaves in the same manner as other Windows applications. Therefore, we have the drop-down menu like File, so I can go open up a new file or open up an existing file, save things, and all the similar Windows functionalities. If I go down at the bottom, there's a toolbar over here and it has some shortcuts preset in it already, such as create a new document, so I can create a brand new document or a drawing from here. I can open up an existing document, save, and so forth and so on. As I keep on moving towards the right on the toolbar, I stumble upon an icon called Fit All In. Now, what is this icon? So say if I zoom out to an extent that I cannot see my part anymore and it's gone. So how do I bring my part back where things are? Once I click on this Fit All In icon, left click on it once, my part comes back to normal. Over here is the pan icon, so left click on it once, and then if I move my mouse cursor on this big cylindrical face and hold my left mouse click button down, I can now pan my part around in the graphic working space. Next to the pan icon is the rotate icon. If I left click on it once, now I can reorient my part with respect to angular rotation. So if I hold my left click down on this face one more time, I see an X on the screen which indicates that now I can move this or change the orientation of this part. So when I move my mouse up, I'm trying to flip my part around, or if I go on the left hand side, my part changes its orientation. I also have this dotted inferencing circle, and I can go and manipulate my part orientation with respect to a 360-degree angle. Then we have the traditional zoom in and zoom out buttons. So if I click on the zoom in, I'll zoom in on my part, and if I click on zoom out, and everything is a left click for selection, I'm going to zoom out of my part. Say if I want to draw something on this top face and I want to change its orientation so that it's easier for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this face, left click on it once, and then down on the toolbar I'm going to click on normal view, left click on it once, and now I'm just going to move this downwards, and now I'm drawing on that face, or I can draw on that face. Next to the normal to icon is the create multi-views icon. Once I click on it, I will get 4 different views. So on the top left corner, this one is the isometric view. As I go down, that's the front view. On the right hand side, this is the right view, and on the top right corner is the top view. I can exit out of this multi-view by simply going down back on the toolbar and a left click. The icon next to the create multi-views will give me separate independent views to my liking. So for example, if I click on it now, left click once, it goes into the isometric view. If I click on the drop down menu or the arrow over here, I can choose different sorts of views which I would like to see my part in and do my examinations. So I can go and select the front view, or I can go and select a right view. I'm going to leave this in the isometric view for now. The icon next to the isometric view gives me different ways I can view my part, such as I can view it as completely shaded, or I can view it shaded with edges, and please feel free to experiment with these icons and choose a view that suits you best. I can also select shading with edges and I can now see the hidden edges, the inside ones, and go and select them and draw references from that view. I'm going to switch back to shaded with edges. On the right hand side is the toolbar for designing or applied features options. We are going to look into detail on this toolbar as we progress through other sections of this course. On the right hand side corner is the compass. This controls the orientation of the part. So if I go on this compass and hover over this curvy line, my cursor now changes into a hand finger icon. Once I hold my left click button down on my mouse over that curvy line, I can now change the orientation of my part in a 360-degree fashion. Similarly, if I go on the curvy line above the Y alphabet, which denotes the Y axis, and I can hold my left mouse click button down, and now I can flip it in that direction. If I go over the vertical line point over here and hold my left mouse click button down, I can flip my part around with respect to the Z axis. Let's talk about mouse functionalities. If I use my middle mouse button or the scroller wheel and move the wheel up and down, that will reorient the product tree from its current location in a vertical fashion. Similarly, if I hold my middle mouse button down and move my mouse up or down on my mouse pad or sideways, now I can pan the part around the screen. So the same thing what the icon pan does. If I hold down my middle mouse button and right click and hold that right click button down, now I can reorient my part in an angular fashion. When I move my mouse on the right, my part goes to the right side. When I move it on the left, it goes left. And I can also do the manipulation hovering over the dotted circular lines to reorient my part in a 360-degree fashion. And it's not the part that's reorienting itself, it's the viewer. Then if I use my middle mouse button one more time, hold it down and right click just once, not holding it down, just right clicking once on my mouse. And when I now move in and out, I'm in the zoom mode. So I can zoom in my part or zoom out of my part. That concludes the training in this module. Please download all the sample files I've provided and open it up on your computer, play around with it, use the mouse to reorient it and get familiar. And I will see you in the next module when we begin sketching.